Okay, hello everyone. Welcome to Ben's Brick Designs. I'm Ben. Happy Friday. Friday stream because I was not here last night. I was babysitting a friend's kids. Not babysitting a friend, that would be weird. They had tickets to soccer game, and so they asked if I could babysit, and it was super easy because their kids are very young and were in bed by the time I got there. So no big deal. Mac Builds Bricks, hello. Thank you for being here. So to make up for it, we're gonna do a build stream today because I had the weekend off. Yesterday was Juneteenth. I hope you were able to celebrate, support Black business, support Black friends in your community. And today we just have, my company has Fridays off during the summer, so no real reason not to do this. So thanks for hanging out with me. I'm gonna show you something real quick. If I can get this over here, okay. So this is, I'm gonna go to the build camera because it's gonna block this camera, but this is the stadium so far, one section. And I was doing the roof, and you can't really tell, but the roof is done, it was originally done with Technic brick, but I found out that it drooped a little bit when I did the Technic plates up, or Technic bricks up at the top. So instead I'm doing these corner plates and doing plates sideways so it doesn't droop as much. It still droops a little bit, and I'm hoping that a little more weight is not going to kill it, but also that it's going to be cross beamed. So this is one of 5 sections on the south side, and there will be cross beams going underneath it to the other sides of the stadium where there are already big pillars. So hopefully getting a little bit of that will hold it up a little bit, but I think this is a good solution. And you can see down here they're anchored. They're anchored down within the shop. This is one of the little shops, so there's 5 of these along this way. This is the first one. And they all look like this with the 2 little windows. I think a couple of them have 1 window or 2 longer windows. But yeah, so this is anchored down on the sides, so it doesn't, it holds on pretty well. It is wobbly up top. You can see it in the camera over here moving side to side. But I think once it's in place, it won't matter. Like, the weight will keep it. So that's what I'm working on. I'm doing it in real life to make sure it all works, and then whatever works best in real life, then translating back to the software. I was really happy about how this turned out because this is 2 different sections, but if you look, the sections line up, right? So they continue their line all the way up right here, even though it's 2 different sections. So this solution worked out pretty good in the back here. They're just clips. They're just hanging on here by clips up here. The only thing I don't have a good solution for is using all these 2x6 bricks. These are 1x2, or 2x2 and 2x4, but the 2x6 bricks. I'm out of these, and I'm going to need a ton of these. So this is just to make sure it works. I'll probably take this all apart. You can see under there. Hello. I'll probably take this all apart so I could reuse it for other sections. But I just want to make sure it works. So that's where we are on that. And I'm going to go very carefully put this back over on the build table. And the other section that I have built out lines up really nicely with it too, so it all works. So I'm very happy with it. All right. right, so today, chill little build we got. We got the flower arrangement, creatively named flower arrangement. This one I'm excited for because I don't need to look for a pot or a vase or a glass or something to put it in. I'm a little worried about these extra flowers, but this looks like it's got a ton of neat parts in it. So let's get to building. Because I have Friday off, I don't have anything going on today. Like the slope really looks like a stadium is for me. I agree. In the software, I've had to kind of separate them all out. They originally, excuse me, were, and I'm going to move the camera back. Somebody mentioned that they weren't happy with the fact that it was so far away when I was building, so I'm going to try to have a little more zoned in on building here. Building with instructions. And here's our instructions. So I should be able to get through this today, but we'll see. It says there's 9, but we usually do 4 bags, 2 bags an hour. So we'll see how this goes. Oh, there's 10. Some of these bags, though, are kind of small looking. We got our instructions in here in a paper bag, which I'm not going to use anyway. This is my number 1 bag. There it is. So how is everyone doing? I hope you have a good... You had a good week and you have a good weekend planned. I've got a few things planned, including a Lego meeting. Our lug is meeting. Also, let me know how the video and the sound are. We got our meeting planned on Saturday. I don't have anything built for it. It was supposed to be a splash into summer model challenge, and we got some seed parts, but I ran out of time. I was working on the stadium, working on some other stuff, so I just didn't get it done. Cool, thank you. Yeah, today does feel like, yesterday felt like a Saturday for me. Because Wednesday was the last day. We only had a 3-day week. A 4-day weekend is a weird liminal space where it's like you just kind of don't feel, oh, build your way. Build it your way. I'm guessing this means you get to build whatever flowers you want. So let's look at the flowers here. We've got Night Rider Camellia. Night Rider, I think that's funny. We've got an Ito peony, and we've got a hydrangea. We've got baby's breath. We've got a Persian buttercup, a lily, a hummingbird flower, and that's about it. Oh, that sucks. That is sad. I usually tell people who don't have a lug nearby that they should start their own lug. Yeah, look at that. Just so you know, the cough hasn't gone away. It won't for weeks. I bought a humidifier that I'm going to be sitting under for the next little while, and then I have that on at night. That square is in that color, by the way. That's what I was getting at. And these are good pieces too. I don't have a ton of them. And then these in that color, that's pretty rad. The only ones I really have in this color are gray because they were Millennium Falcon colors. So it's good to see them in different colors. we've had three lugs, I think, start in Texas since last year. We've had one in Bryan College Station, home of Texas A&M. Then we had one start in Corpus Christi, and I think we have one starting in El Paso. So if that's the case, we have 5 recognized lugs, and then we've got 3 unrecognized lugs. So because Texas is just such a big state, it's not like you've got one lug in Boston, right? But there's also different, there can be different goals for the lug too. Like they don't have to be just regular meeting every month or once a year or once every quarter to do, you know, just random stuff. We have a lug that is focused primarily on trains, the Texas Brick Railroad. And they go to railroad shows, and they've got a giant layout, homemade tables, so all their ballasting works and all the track lines up. But they're their own lug. So it'd be like if you had a classic space lug or something. And if you don't have a lug nearby, there are also Lego online communities, locks, that you can join as well. This is interesting. Just play it like that, play it like that. I don't know why. Maybe so later when you take it apart, it's easier. Zisoo, how are you doing? Thanks for being here. I realize Friday is kind of a weird thing for people. So if you're taking off work or you're taking a break, I appreciate you coming by. But yeah, there are online communities too. So if there's a group that you'd like to be a part of because they do certain things. Ooh, 2x6 in blue. Nice. Join that lug or join that lock. Join that online user group. And get to building. I think if Austin didn't have one, I would probably join one. I know that I was part of, it wasn't really an online community, but there were several Flickr groups that were Star Wars Lego or Microfighter Lego, kind of thing. So it's always good to look around. Fromania Bricks, hello. Thank you for being here. It's going well so far. We're 17 minutes in. It's a makeup stream. I wasn't able to stream last night, so I'm doing a makeup today. And I'm going to try to keep this so you can see what's going on here. I got a comment that said it was the camera was too far away, and they were trying to learn how to build with the video. I was building the tree beard out of the bonsai tree, and I think they were trying to figure out how to do it. So they were a little upset that they couldn't really see what was going on. Running errands and listening. Nice. I endeavor to be everyone's background sounds today. So Lego related news. We've had the 2 sets that were picked from the 2024 Lego Ideas round of judging, and they are the Tin Rocket and a Godzilla. And I am going to go on record and say that the Godzilla we get out of this will not be nearly as cool as the one that was submitted. The joke I make is that it will be the Dunice version. If you're all familiar with the Saturday Night Live character Dunice, you know what I'm talking about. It's going to be more structurally stable, I'm sure, more marketable, but I feel like it's going to lose a little bit of whatever made it. The irony being, whatever the mock builder did, the designer did to make it noticeable enough to get onto Lego Ideas, submitted, accepted, and get 10,000 votes is exactly what they're gonna get rid of when they make their own, when they make the official version. You know, because I know there were several Lego Godzillas. This one just was really rad, and I think everyone really wanted that. But what they're gonna get is Lego's version, which is kind of sad, but you know, whatever. We've got a lot of changing direction on this so far, which I'm liking. Use of the round tiles with the pips on them, and some tube brackets to get this rotated a little bit. Also, that's a pretty hefty piece in dark tan. Nice big octagon piece. I had to count the sides. So yeah, so those two are out. What else is going on? There is a build going around that everybody wants. That seems to be pretty popular. It's the Homer disappearing into the hedges. There's a mock you can get the instructions for, or the whole build actually, on a third party on the designer site. Did I make any pillow forts while babysitting? Sadly, the kids were asleep. Even the dog, their dog is this little Frenchie named Loki that we've pet set for him before, and he's a special little dude. He's this old Frenchie. He's a terrier mix. He's not a bullshit. He's but he's kind of a stocky Frenchie. But he's super sweet. He and I get along great. And so I got there, and they were going to. It was funny because these are friends of ours, and he had texted me earlier and was like, "Hey, I've got an extra ticket to the soccer game tonight. It was U.S. men versus Saudi Arabia here in Austin at Q2." And I was like, "Oh man, that sounds really fun, but we're trying to save for Aggie's surgery." After all that seems weird. Let's see if I can take this apart so you can see what I think is weird. Oh no, it does connect. Okay. Never mind. The tickets were like $100 and some, and I was like, I can't do that. I'm not really a huge men's soccer, U.S. soccer. I'm a bigger fan of the women's soccer team, but so I was like, yeah, I think I'll pass, but thanks for asking. And then a little while later, he's like, so, could you babysit tonight? I'm like, absolutely, I will babysit. Crimson Toaster, hello, how are you? Thank you for being here. Happy Friday. So yeah, went over. They were asleep. They're like 5 and 2, 5 and almost 2 maybe. So they're still small. And made sure to go up and say hi to them so they knew I was there. And then I worked on. I'm doing a trivia round, or a couple trivia rounds at Brick Rodeo. So I just worked on that. I had my laptop out. I watched YouTube videos and looked up random Wikipedia articles all night to try to get some ideas for trivia. That's all I did. And even the dog fell asleep. So no forts, no long distance calls, no boyfriends, no pizza. I didn't trash the place. So it was, you know, I would have stayed home and played Battlefront. So, you know, it was just a nice chill evening, basically. How are you, Crimson? What's everybody's weekend plans look like? Anybody got anything major going on this weekend? we're going to go see 28 Years Later tonight. And then tomorrow is Lego meeting. And then I think Sunday is... I don't think anything is happening on Sunday. Nope. It is double VIP points, or double, I keep saying VIP points, insider points all weekend. So if you planned on buying anything from Lego, this would be a good time to do it. Get double points. So you just chilling? Sweet. Got any Lego projects you're working on? Any mocks? Any backlogs? Any sorting? I don't know what you're laughing at, Zissou, but I'm assuming it was the disregard for my friend's place during babysitting. I have this habit of, because I'm old, when you were left alone, when your parents went somewhere, the biggest thing to do was make long distance calls and order pizza with your parents' credit cards, if you had access to it. So when we leave the dogs, for whatever reason, I'm like, Cat's in charge. No long distance phone calls, no ordering pizza, don't have your boyfriend or girlfriend or whatever. And I'm always like, that is such a 80s thing to say. So do this 4 times. Lego Bruticus. Lego Bruticus. Transformer? Pushing back against the clutter this weekend. I hear ya. I was able to get this space kind of cleaned up a little bit, and that space kind of cleaned up, so that was... Yeah, right? No long distance phone calls. It's like, how old are you? I'm very old. I will be 52 in 10 days. My birthday's coming up. And 52 is not really an age you care about. It's not a seminal age. I'm not even out of the 46 to 54 age bracket that you have to drop down on. Get the almost, 52 or retirement age bracket thing going on there. Welcome back, Mac Builds Bricks. So did anybody get to, I realize this is the week after, but was anybody able to get to Rebrickable Chicago this past weekend? That's one of those shows that I think at some point in my life I'll go to, but it will be as a fan, not really a mock displayer. There's just, I can't see myself ferrying up a mock of any worth on a flight or by freight, because I don't know how else you'd get it up there. We could drive, but man, that's a drive. It's about 13 hours to Beth's family in Kentucky, and then it's another couple hours from there up to Chicago. So you're looking at like a full day of driving if you don't take any breaks. What's up, Jake? How's it going? Jake, I was wrong. I predicted we would lose 4-1 against New York. And I was incorrect about that. I'm glad I was wrong about that. It was a fun game. Yeah, we noticed that. It wasn't the normal guy. The replacement was not bad. But we did notice it was a new guy. Yeah, I agree. I was saying that at the top of the hour. I'm really happy about that. I am out of, mostly because I'm out of vases. I don't have, it'll be nice to just kind of set this up somewhere. Brick Rodeo is July 4th weekend. It is, the public days are, the public days will be the 5th and the 6th. So the all access, the AFall day sections are the 3rd and the 4th and 5th and 6th, but the public days are 5th and 6th. So if you plan on being near Houston in Sugar Land, Texas, July 4th weekend, Brick Rodeo, thank you for bringing it up, will be July 5th and 6th, right? What's up, George? Yeah, I have today off. I wasn't able to stream last night, so make up stream today. And then I think after this, I might do a TikTok of one of my microfighters because I haven't done one of those in a while. Since I'm home and have nothing to do until tonight, at which point we're gonna go see 28 years later. Honestly, I don't remember 28 days later or 28 weeks later. So maybe this afternoon I'll watch one of those. It does feel weird. It feels weird that June is almost over. Like I have a mental image, and this is just me, but everybody has their own sort of mental image of what days look like, what a day looks like, what an hour looks like, what a month looks like, right? I have a mental image of a calendar year, and it's a big circle, and the circle's on kind of a slope, the summer months being a little lower than the winter months. And I'll have different views of where I am on this circle when I think about it. All the months have different colors, but they're all not like a solid color. It's kind of a gradient rainbow all the way around, depending. So like June is a bluish color and July is a darker bluish color. And right now I'm looking back at May, and May is kind of an orange yellow. And I'm looking back at May. I don't even see July yet, which means I don't even realize how fast Brick Rodeo is coming up. I've got to finish my trivia. Got to make sure my studio outline is tight. And I got to pick all the games that I want to play. And Beth's coming with me, so I got to make sure that there's stuff for her to do too. Although she said she's bringing her laptop and we'll be doing some continuing education stuff for her license. So she doesn't always have to be entertained. But I'm like, it's going to be like 4 days. You're going to want to come hang out and do stuff. So yes, if you're in the Sugar Land area, please stop by. There are public day tickets. They're usually for a time slot, so like 2 hours, so like 10 to noon. And the public days will get you limited access to certain things. Not all the games or anything, but I think a couple of the talks. I don't know if I have it here. I'm gonna go grab it real quick. Give me 1 second. I don't know if George wants to sell these or not, but if you're interested, he printed up this for me. It's a bling Lego brick necklace. And it's got a rad dragon clasp on the back. dragon head clasp. And if you are interested, I'm sure he could hook you up. Ogasami Brickworks. Agasami Brickworks. Ogasami? I think I'm pronouncing that right. So if you want one of these, he's got several colors. Look him up. See if that's something you'd like. George, I wore that the entire game. I even took my cut off and I just had that the whole time. So that was fun. Sweet. So yeah, there's another reason to go to Brick Rodeo. He'll be bringing some of these to that event. In the cool brick exchange or whatever it's called, right? Yeah, sure, man. It's really cool. I got a lot of compliments on it. And every time I did, I turned it around. I'm like, take a picture so you don't forget. So hopefully you'll get some people interested. I haven't had anybody in Los Verdes say anything yet, but I'm sure it's just a matter of time. What other Lego news is happening? Lego Masters is still going on. Our friend Justin is still in it. There was a bit of a scare with the last one where they did the top 4 and the bottom 4, which I wasn't a huge fan of, but I realized it's a shortened season and they were trying to get, I know they're trying to get through this a little bit, but I wasn't a fan. Especially because I feel like they could have been voted out but still be better than 4 other teams. So I was kind of like, I don't like that. Kind of like ranked, it's kind of like the opposite of ranked voting, where, you know, you don't really have a choice and the person you want is automatically out. But I thought their build was great, and I thought he went to a watch party and he gave a little bit of backstory about some of the behind the scenes about why they built what they did and everything. So I was sad to see, is it Nikki and Britton? I was sad to see them go, but I kind of thought that they were next to go. They seem lovely people, but I think the other teams are just a little stronger. And I'm glad that Anthony, I keep calling him Tony because I thought that's what he wanted to be called, but everybody calls him Anthony. So Anthony and Joe, I'm glad Anthony and Joe are doing well still. All the other Texas teams. Don't think I have a Technic brick in that color. So I think the stand's done. Now we're going to start working on the bed for the flowers. Yeah, after I started jumping up and down a little bit with it, it didn't weigh. My concern is a lot of times if something weighs on my neck, I start getting a headache. And even my cut, every once in a while, I have to take off because it's just a scarf. The cut weighs a couple pounds, so it's pulling on you. And I was like, I don't know if I can have a necklace. The scarf gets tied to the post. The cut kind of goes on or off. It really doesn't matter. But it got real heavy because there was so much water being thrown. But yeah, it stayed on just fine. Let's see. There's a new gift with purchase. That is the Jane Austen. Excuse me. It's a little book that you can unfold. So that's kind of nice. There's some retiring sets. Not a ton going on right now, Lego wise. Never Too Old, how are you? Thanks for being here. Hope you're having a good Friday. We're doing some plants, some botanicals, because I have a Friday and I don't have anything to do. It's either this or clean or play Battlefront. So let's do this. Yeah, Double Insiders is going on. Like I said, if you've been waiting to purchase something, this may be a good time to do it. Take advantage of that. I don't think I've taken advantage of a insider purchase in a while. Like I haven't been buying as many Lego sets as I have in the past. I bought this like a month ago, maybe, or more. So it's been a while. And then before this, it was the airplane shuttle thing. And a lot of these are, I buy them online, or I'll buy them from Amazon, to be frank. Like, I don't much care about the points anymore. I just don't buy enough to worry about the points. I don't know why this is colored this way. I guess we'll find out eventually, right? Why it matters what color is here. Weird black and tan colored stuff. Okay, yeah. Weird thing to put up there, but okay. Is it Millennium Falcon Day? What does that mean? Is there a new Millennium Falcon set or something? Alright, here we go. Bag 3. Bag 3 is a small bag. I think this is starting to be the... Oh, and then we've got... Place it upon this. So there's your base and your plant base. And I think moving forward, it is build whatever flower you want and then attach it. So let's see what this is. So I need one of these. We got a bag of these little bits. These are rad pieces. So one of these sets is going to involve all these. This times 2. Oh, you're just doing yours. Do you have the UCS Falcon? My wife was very curious. She was talking about the UCS Falcon, and I forget how the conversation came up, but she's like, "That's one you want, right?" I'm like, "Not really." I was like, I got a Venator, I got the AT-AT, those are the ones I wanted. She's like, you don't want the big Millennium Falcon ship? I'm like, I mean, it'd be fun to build it, but then where would I put it? I have literally no room to put it anywhere. As it is, I'm out of space. I say that, I sold a bunch of Star Wars old sets, so I've got a little room. I got a couple shelves full of space. Fourth party. Wow. So third party bricks and then somebody else is building it. Is that fourth party? I don't know what fourth party means. I'm just kidding. I had to come up with a trivia question, and the phrasing was third party something, right? And I had to kind of internally define what third party meant. Because I know what it means, but it's one of those where if you stop and think about it, you're like, oh God, what does that actually mean? And it's just kind of a phrase that gets thrown around all the time. As in, it's not built for this thing specifically. Or it's not built by the people who built this thing. So like a Microsoft Word plugin or something like that would be third party. Developed by somebody else who didn't write Word or Microsoft products with the intention of it being used for a Microsoft product. All right, this is going to start getting complicated, so pay attention. I'm just joking about the fourth part because the fourth dimension is time. So if the third party is a different designer, different company that made it, then a fourth party is it's made by somebody different and somebody else builds it with their time. I may or may not have watched an hour-and-a-half interview with Brian Cox yesterday about space-time stuff, so it's on my brain a little bit. While I was babysitting, that's what I was watching and writing trivia. It was Brian Cox interview about black holes, and then another like 40-minute video about the origins of words, because I'm a big old nerd. Got these two going on. Oh, and we got more coming up. I realized too, I haven't even taken my Mars base apart yet, not all of it, and there are some parts in there that are good parts. I might do that this weekend. I was just kind of making room on the other side of the Lego room here, and I was like, what is this? What's in this box? And I open it up, I'm like, oh, that's the Mars base. I should have taken this apart months ago. All right, we got enough people in here that aren't going to be at Brick Rodeo, I think. So I'm going to give you a taste of the trivia, and just to see if all right. It's Geeks Who Drink. It's 7 rounds, and there are 8 questions each, and 2 of these are Lego robot hand elements. Oh, okay. I don't know why they felt the need to put that in there. Let me make sure this is okay. So that is times 2. Everything here is times 2. So the first round is Lego questions, and then the next day there's a family-friendly trivia that is just 20 questions, and it's all Lego. And I think I might just reuse what I did last year because it's probably going to be different people. I might change up 1 or 2 of them, but let's go through some and see what y'all's knowledge of Lego is like. So, given 6 2x4 bricks, this is a like a Lego house question. They ask this question at Lego House, and when they do tours of Lego stuff. If you have 6 2x4 bricks, I don't have an example up here. You have 6 2x4 bricks, just a regular brick. You have 6 of them. How many building combinations are possible with just those 6 bricks? Honor system, don't use Google. All right, we're going to assembly line this because we're going to need 8 of these. There's no prizes or anything. I'm just running through these questions and see what y'all think. I need 2 more at the end. I'm not going to use last year's questions. I was kind of running out. This was a question from last year, but I think it's sort of fascinating, and I think it should be asked every week. So given 6 2x4 bricks, how many building combinations are possible? You can round it to the nearest large number. I will say, coming up with a trivia for Lego that isn't just a fact. Like, Lego is great for teaching autistic kids. It's like, how do I turn that into a trivia question? All right. So then this goes where? In between. Nobody? Nobody got that one? And if you're watching later and want to know the answer, if you have 6 2x4 bricks, you can have $915,103,765 building combinations. So if you say 915 million, that'd be fine. Or over 900 million, I would accept that as well. That always gets me, that factoid. And then we need, oh goodness, this is going to be a lot. Okay. Put them on here first. It looks like they want us to go there. And then my guess is it's going to swoop up. Four more. The other way. These are offset just enough. And there you go. And I forget which flower this is. Now we're going to do that one more time. Backside here. Which one was the underneath one? You kind of have to close these all at once so they overlap properly. If you try to close them like box lids where you close one at a time, hoping that you can, because one of these is going to be left out if you don't. Just like that. Other way. Okay, cool. Thanks for being here. I appreciate you coming in on a work day, a weekday. Stay safe. Have a good weekend. I hope you're able to partake in the double purchase days. That's about as good as I can get. And then they're gonna attach here. Okay, is this why we color coded them? So we can see where they go. There's 2 so far. Nice. Next trivia question. Piece by Piece is a 2024 brick film documentary about what American musician? Everybody should get this. First one. Bag. And I will be on for another hour. Actually, I'm just going to be on until this is done. This isn't one that I want to like span across multiple streams, so I'll just work on it until it's done. I know it's probably going to be like 3 hours, but I got nothing else to do. And again, this is going to be double building this at the same time. So we'll try to... This has got some very, very cool new pieces in it by the looks of it. And if not completely new, then at least newly colored. First and foremost, we got this umbrella piece, which I've never seen before. But that's super cool in that butter yellow. Very nice. Very good for flowers. I think I have some of these shells in coral. I don't have them in sunshine yellow or regular yellow, whatever that is. These are always, we've got a bunch of these already. These 2 pieces, I think I have this in yellow, but I'm not sure. This I definitely don't have it in tan, so that's interesting. Got some more alien head things, or bodies. These are the little alien bodies. You turn them upside down and they're now stamens, right? Or pistils, I forget what, you know. These in that new reddish orange color. The 1x3s in nougat, so that's cool. That's not a new color. That's not a new color. I think that's it. Very cool. A lot of good stuff going on here. So let's kind of separate these out because they're holding on to different parts when we move it. Goes out of the way. Same with these shells. So I saw there was a new X-Men First Class trailer. Has anyone seen that? Or I saw a Screen Crush thing about it. And I don't know if it was because there was a new trailer or what, very excited about that. I thought X-Men First Class was really kind of cool. It wasn't perfect, and I would have done Havoc differently, but I liked it. I thought McAvoy and Fassbender really did quite well together. I thought Jennifer Lawrence did a good Mystique. I think the motivations, I think the bad guy was a little soft. Like I was a 90s X-Men comic fan, and having Kevin Bacon play the Hellfire League head, Fabian Cortez, I think it was, felt fine, but it didn't feel like his kind of world ending as I thought it could be. It's also been a while since I've seen it. I may need to go back and watch it. And again, I apologize for the coughing that I'm doing in everybody's ears. stop it, I would. This is super satisfying. Just plugging these in here. That's very nice. Very nice. Ooh, I think I'm gonna get an extra one. That's cool. Let's see, what else is going on? Still working on the Expanse books, audiobooks. I'm up to Cibola Burns, or Cibola Burn. I haven't been watching the show as much. Probably should, but I realize that the show, and I've already seen the show, I'm just rewatching. But I already know that it diverges a little bit. It combines characters, and there's some characters who just aren't in the book later on. But it's still, I think it spoiled me for audiobooks because the narrator is really good. The reader is really good, and I'm really enjoying S.A. Corey's style of writing. S.A. Corey / those two guys who are S.A. Corey. And I understand now why they turned it into a show, because it's really well crafted. You can kind of visually see when you're reading it just about everything they're talking about. So I'm having a good time reading it or listening to it. It's, the school of thought of it's not really reading if it's an audiobook, whatever. Good time getting through the book. Let's see, the Oilers and the Panthers. They played the Stanley Cup final, and the Oilers did not win, or did not carry it to a Game 7, which I'm sad about because I'm not a huge Panthers fan. Because I'm an Avalanche fan, and so being a rooting against the Panthers just seems natural. But also, we played the Oilers a bit in the Western Conference, so sad for McDavid not getting a cup again. He's going to be the 40-year-old heartfelt story deserve-o-meter cup winner in another 5-10 years. Do it for McDavid or something like that. Didn't even watch the final game. Once the Avs were out, it was kind of like, eh. it's hard to watch. You know, I love watching hockey, but when your team is out, you're just watching hockey to watch hockey, which is fine. It's an amazing sport. Okay, got these guys done. Nice. 4 these. These are such great pieces. Like, I don't know what it is about these pieces, but they are very satisfying. It's the color, it's the shininess on one side, and it's kind of the matte feel on the other side. They look like you could eat them. These look like the teacups in Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, or Willy Wonka and whatever the Gene Wilder one is. Oh, that's the new news. Spaceballs is getting a sequel. I haven't seen anything other than the announcement that it's getting a sequel. But I'm sure it'll be like The Schwartz Awakens or something to lampoon the sequel movies that are just out. Oh, I needed to do that 4 times. 4 times on this, 4 times on that. What's up, ma'am? You gotta shake it off? What's going on? Somebody's doing some yard work outside and it doesn't look like you like it. There's a guy next door who has a remote control car, and you know the sound remote control car makes. It's that whiny little kind of thing, right? Aggie does not like that sound at all. If he's messing around with his remote control car in the backyard, and we need to go outside and do our business, she will not go outside. She's like, "No, sir, and you cannot make me." I'm like, "Come on, go outside." And she's like, "Nope, not doing it. Whatever that noise is, I am not happy with it, and I refuse to go outside." And I think that's hysterical. It's like, of all the little noises you could be scared of, that's the one you pick. I'm already going to tell that I'm going to have problems with this because they're click hinges. There's not a really good way to hold these. Yeah. So you got to be a little careful. And these will fit this will fit in this little area in here. So you can get it to go all the way in. And they'll rotate however you want. All extra. This is weird. I've never seen an extra for that. Unless there's... Yeah, this was just a solid extra. Interesting. So I was looking up parts to do my long-term pipe dream of having the Centurions as a Lego set. The Centurions being the 80s property that was basically action figures that had it was an exosuit, 5 and 6. My goodness. 5 and 6. They, if you haven't seen Centurions, the cartoon itself doesn't really hold up. Like, I went back and watched a little bit of it, and it's not. It's like it's one that also escaped the really cool opening, like Thundercats, Silverhawks, Jason the Wheeled Warriors. Oh, that's lovely. Look at all these purple butterflies. They're gonna be your. It's kind of bluish on screen, but trust me, that's purple. Doesn't focus really well. We also got these inverted clip pieces. And I know it's just a color thing, but lavender cones. Very nice. This is going to be fun. This is going to be repetitive. Yeah, I feel like they didn't get the same, like, hey, this is a cool opening for an 80s cartoon intro. It was very still like, this actually looks like kind of what the actual show looks like, which is fine. I'd rather that. But at the same time, it's kind of hard to say, well, this was a really fun show, because it was only one season. I think, maybe 2. And it sold its toys. Its toys were good, I thought. And really creative. We actually made them, when we were kids, we made them with, we made them out of Lego with just those big 2x2 brackets. Take the heads off, put the whole of the bracket over the neck piece and put the head back on. And then you'd have a bracket to do stuff on their back. And this was before those like nice neck pieces with the back parts. And then they could hold all the other stuff they needed, all the other rocket stuff or whatever. They could attach their feet, you know. Make sure that this is the right. But what I want to do is get a few, you know, have them be a little more buildable and a little bigger figure-wise. So I was like, well, you know what? They do buildable figures. Like the Star Wars figures were buildable figures. And then on top of that, you've got all these crazy frame parts with like Bionicle and Hero Factory and all that kind of stuff. Why not make Centurions? I think that'd be great. So I've narrowed it down to 3 heads because I only need 3 to start. I need Jake Rockwell, Ace McCloud, and Max Ray are the 3 characters, which I think are hilarious names. Ace McCloud is the air guy, Jake Rockwell is the land guy, and Max Ray is the sea guy. So I've got 3 heads in mind. I'm taking notes. I got 1 page so far. These are the buildable ones. The Luke Skywalker, the Han Solo, and the Chirrut figure. And then the Han Solo, Han Solo, I'll have to do a mustache on it. Or, yeah, because it's going to be Max Ray has a mustache. So, but those heads look like they're the best picks. And it's also the only 3 male heads that are different enough. They don't have masks or something. So then it's a matter of building a frame that looks like that. So all these are connection points. So it's got 7 on the front, same 7 on the back. And it's got 2 on the shoulders, bicep, forearm, upper leg, lower leg. And each of those are connection points. So either a Technic pin or just enough to hold a bar, right? Either way, either will work. Did I lose a piece? It felt like something rolled away. So anyway, that's the plan. Now I just have to figure out the frame to how to build those frames. So they look like people, but also have pluggable frames. All right, this is gonna take a little second. So this is times 2. That. I don't know which is worse, the repetitive nature of these flowers or building technique. Because I like the part usage, but I don't necessarily know that I like the part usage times 16, you know? What other news is going on in the world of Lego? Oh, we didn't get to the trivia. So Piece by Piece is a 2024 brick film documentary about Pharrell Williams and his life. I still, to this day, don't understand quite why that was a thing. All right. So this is times 10, which means it'll be times 20. Sheepdog, what's up? How are you doing? So there's 10. And there's another 20. Happy Friday to you. Hope you're having a good pre-weekend date here. There's 12. There's another 12, and I got a bunch left. I wonder what that's going to be about. Uh-oh. What are you up to on this fine Friday? Oh, I'm doing good. I mean, got the day off, so I'm technically on call, which means I have to check in with my work every once in a while, which I might do here in a second. Because while we have Friday off, we need to make sure that the help desk is manned, so I totally forgot that I was supposed to be doing that. Nothing in chat. Check email. AD self-service. These are all, yep, nothing really major. I'll check help desk in a little bit. What's up, Mayo? Yeah, this is going to be super repetitive, but I mean, if you don't want, first of all, I don't have a lot of 1x1s in blue. I will just say that. So this is a good thing. These are more purple than they look on camera. So if you ever wanted to get this set just to have purple butterflies, there are a million of them. And I'm going to try to separate this out because I'm going to be doing this the rest of the build. Uh-oh, all-nighter. School's out. Time to get studying. How does this orient itself? That. And I need 10 of these. My fingertips are going to start hurting a little bit, I think. Actually, I need 20 of these because this says 10, but I'm doing this twice. So math. So there's 5. So that was a question. All right. So I'm also going through trivia. So if you guys want some trivia questions, I'm testing out some trivia for Brick Rodeo coming up. These are my Lego questions. And since I think a couple of you folk aren't going to be at Brick Rodeo, I can ask you these and it won't be cheating. So yeah, last year I hosted like a Geeks Who Drink style trivia. And then I also did a family-friendly version the next day that was just like 20 questions. So we've already asked the two, if you have 6 2x4 bricks, how many combinations are possible? And that's 915 million. Piece by Piece is a movie about who? And that would be Pharrell Williams. Nathan Sawaya's famous pieces include one with a human figure opening its chest and spilling out Lego bricks. What is the name of that sculpture? This is, of course, honor system, no looking it up. If you know it, you know it. Oh no, this is this set. The flower arrangement. I would not have the right pieces to do a custom flower arrangement. There's just no way. Most of my nice part usage is in the form of, oh, that's a different gray piece for a spaceship. How many is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Look how pretty that is. Look how well that works. That wasn't in the history book. All right. The name of the sculpture with its chest opened up and Lego bricks spilling out is Yellow. The name of the sculpture is Yellow. He has several others, and they all have kind of color names, so that's easy to remember. So here's one, Bricklink. I have a whole like Bricklink was founded, or was is this secondary market? Blah blah blah. Who founded Bricklink? In June of 2000. What was the name of the guy who founded Bricklink? He died a few years ago, and they had sort of a memorial thing for him. All right, that's very pretty. Now we do the second round of this, which is this plus this plus this. It's going to be a nightmare. Yeah, I haven't, I built the shuttle aircraft, shuttle airplane carrier, and then this one, and I think that's it really for a while. And then the rest of the time has been mocks, either microfighters or doing design work. So that's 6. Yeah, it was called Brick Bay, and then it was called something else, and then it eventually was called Brick Lake. The founder's name was Dan Jezik, for those keeping score. All right, so this is 12. This one's kind of a long question, and I'm not sure about the fact of this, but I'm going with it. There are a lot of expensive minifigs and sets out there, but one in particular, a Darth Vader poly bag selling for an average of $450, comes in what rare color? I wanted to avoid saying it is the rarest color, or what is the rarest color Lego piece, because I couldn't find it for sure. One, two, three, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2. Come on, stop rolling away, man. This is so complicated. Stop it. Shaky hands. When I start building more and more, I get anxious, I get adrenaline, and my hands start shaking. I only need 12, so there's 6, 4, 6. Okay, we got 6, 2. Okay, good. Close, not chrome silver. Chrome black. It is the only thing that has chrome black. I was a little worried about calling it the rarest color because chrome black only comes in the Vader thing. Oh man, I was trying to keep these separated. I did one from each pile. There is another color that's even rarer because, so chrome silver or chrome black is one set. It's a poly bag of Darth Vader, which means it comes with however many pieces are in a minifig. 11, I think. It was like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and then like his lightsaber. 11. Right? So the hands, the head, the helmet, the hips, the legs, the lightsaber hilt. There was another piece that was like a Duplo piece, and it was only one piece, and it only came in one set. And I can't remember. It was I'd be able to look it up on Bricklink. But if you go to the color chart on Bricklink and just look down, it's like number of pieces, number of sets. I was looking for things that were like number of sets, 1. How many pieces were in that? You know. But also, the Duplo one was like, it was only in one set, but when I looked up how much that piece was, it was like $3, and it's like, I don't think that's gonna really get anybody. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so this is what takes forever. Excuse me. I think it's a chrome gold. Because 3PO is pearl gold normally. I don't think there is a chrome bronze, but I don't think that's 3PO. Okay, the Lego Art World map is the largest set in terms of part numbers, in terms of piece count. How many pieces are in that set? I will accept a rounded number. All right, shoo, blah. This one needs to have a time lapse on it. Welcome back, George. $12,000 is pretty close. If nobody else has a better guess, I will give it to you. The actual count is, oh, phone turned off, 11,695. So 12,000 is pretty close. Had someone guessed that in real trivia, I probably would have given it to him. Wow, how am I going to make all these fit? This is a very tight grouping here. All right, and that's it for the Lego trivia that I have. I need 2 more questions, but I have old trivia. Sorry, I'm trying to wiggle each of these out a little bit so I can give them space. There's one clip in here that doesn't... getting a little junky. So if you have any ideas for a cool Lego trivia question, let me know. I need 2 of them. And something that isn't... Who's the largest tire manufacturer in the world? Because we're already doing a Lego. That bit of trivia is great when you're not doing Lego trivia. So the rest of these questions are not Lego related. They're just general trivia or themed. Do that again. Technic came out in 1977, but what was it called until the early 80s? Expert Builder. That's pretty cool. I like that. I might use that. All right, what other? That's a Lego round. All right, so the theme for this year in Brick Rodeo is Block Party. So I don't know if any, but there's going to be like best use of theme build. I officially don't like this set anymore. This is just too much. This is not fun anymore. 20, 24, 24. Had to do this 68 times. Not fun. So some of the non Lego trivia then, but having to do with Block Party. The round is called Block Party, and each of these answers either have the word block or have the word party in them. See how that works? And I couldn't get more creative than that. I know a lot of times Geeks Who Drink will do where the answer is this word, and then that word sort of like exists. It's either the word itself or it kind of exists across 2 words, and you got to be really careful. Or these 5 letters exist somewhere in the, you know. All right. So, what seminal Massachusetts protest culminated in activists heaving East India Company chests into the harbor? There's a YouTuber who cut himself off from the Lego community called Block Party. Legend has it only his subscribers from his other channels watch his videos. Okay. And these are extra. I think these are extra. 2 extra? The Tea Party, right. The Boston Tea Party. I almost don't know if I should accept it without Boston, but that's correct. Again, this is round 4, which is it either has the word block or party in it. What's up, Dusty? How are you? All right. What 2-pulley system allows for lifting heavy loads? It was the Boston Tea Party. I've already lost track. These guys are rolling away from me all over the place. No bueno. No me gusta. What 2-pulley system allows for lifting heavy, I should say objects? Well, loads is good. Heavy loads. Block and tackle. There you go. Question 3. Cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin are kept secure by means of a distributed ledger system, otherwise known as what? You're telling me I've got that many extra butterflies? There's no way. All right, so oh, vertical streaming, very cool. In OBS, we do some TikToks from OBS. That would be pretty rad. I would do that. Blockchain is correct. Mayo for the win. All right, question 4. George is going to be taking notes so he can ace this. What is the name of the pioneer group that set out along the Oregon Trail only to succumb to several mishaps, including being snowbound in the Sierra Nevadas, where they resorted to cannibalism to stay alive? What was the name of the pioneer party? What's up, Glenn? Haven't seen you in these parts in a while. These don't really fit all that great. The Donner Party. Very good. That's Glenn. John O'Connor Party? No. It was the Donner Party. Famous for eating each other. And not in a fun way. Okay. Question 5. On Block Party, each of these answers, again, have to have the word block or party in them. Glenn, this is the trivia I'm doing at Brick Rodeo, so if you plan on attending the trivia night, I'm just doing some stuff. You know what I should do? I should do last year's trivia. That way I'm not ruining anything. All right, here's some more Lego trivia. Ole Kurt Christensen established the company that would become Lego in what year? Again, no Googling. Code of honor. Oh my God. That's why they don't fit. They were alternating the whole time. (1946) is incorrect. Good guess, though. Again, Ole Kurt Christensen established the company. This is before it was like all the patents and stuff. When was the company called Lego? Stud City, hello, how are you? Thank you for being here. The reddish one looks real from here. That's pretty cool. 1932. So Mayo, you were very close. This is taking entirely too long. This chewed up like half of this build. Stupid butterflies. Okay, Lego was not the first to make interlocking bricks. In 1936, toy maker Hilary Fisher Page made a similar product called what? It looks like I am actually not missing those. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. If you ever get around to building this set, keep in mind, because I didn't see this right away, these fit a lot better. The butterflies fit a lot better. They alternate up and down. So when I was doing them all up, they were bumping into each other. But the second and third rows, and they do look more purple than this row up. And I get 2 extra butterflies, I think. These go. Oof, that took a lot. Cool. Yeah, it's a good part usage, but it's finicky and it takes forever to do. That one bag took like half hour. Really mad that it took so long. All right, anybody know what Hilary Fisher Page's similar product was called before Lego got a hold of it? Oh wait, we got 2 answers. Kitty Craft, yes. Kitty Craft self-locking bricks or Breplax was the other name, Breplax. Sorry, I missed that from Glenn and Mayo. All right. In 2009, what Top Gear co-host built an entire house out of Lego brick? This isn't a ×2, so we should be be all right to just go ahead with it. I might go to the New England game. Very cool. With your friend Vince. Very cool. I can already tell this is going to be a problem. I don't have many of these in white, so that's pretty. But I can already tell it's going to be fidgety. James May is correct. Gold Cup and Club World Cup have so many blowouts. It's hard to watch. Yeah, we watched the U.S. men versus Saudi Arabia was here in Austin last night. I had a friend who had an extra ticket, but not for $100. I couldn't even watch it online anywhere. It's like, well, do you have Fox Sports? Like, nobody has Fox Sports. Shut up. Yeah, right. Name in the name. All right. In the Lego movie, Morgan Freeman's character Vitruvius has a staff. What is special about his staff? Prop wise, this is a kind of weird question. Not a lot of people got this, I remember. But what is special production value prop wise about his staff? Not like what does his staff do in the story? Turning a new leaf. These green leaves are new elements designed for some of our 2025 sets in Lego Botanical. Can you imagine if these were in Bionicle? It is a lollipop stick. That is correct. It's a chewed up lollipop stick. Ew. Very good. Yeah, it's not Lego. His staff has a staff. Get my people on the phone. The White Stripes and Michael Gondry made a music video including Lego and stop motion for what song? What song did the White Stripes use Lego to make a video of? Do you think going against two Club World Cup teams will be easy or hard because they're playing so much more? I don't have any idea. No idea. Like, I don't follow it that close. Do I get an extra leaf for that? There's a black one right here. Cool. 8-bit? Nope. 7 Nation Army? Nope. Give it a couple more seconds. I don't think I was a kind of a builder at that time. I'm trying to remember when that song came out. The song was Fell in Love with the Girl. Oh, there it is. I was like, how do I get an extra? Sneak this one in over here. Oh, you did get it. Yes, Fell in Love with a Girl. That's correct. I saw 8-bit and 7 Nation Army. Sorry, Dusty. You are correct. All right. In 1997, a giant wave washed 4.8 million Lego pieces into the waters 20 miles off the coast of where? Dark brown of these. I don't know if I have a lot of dark brown of those. Speaking of White Stripes, they have a new song out. 6. Glenn is close with Wales. It's not Japan. The actual answer is Cornwall, which is technically, I think that's Wales, Cornwall. I don't know if it's Western Britain or Wales. I know Wales is Western Britain. So we'll just say that that's correct. Still washing up today. Not as big as it was, but... Correct, Dusty. Not White Stripes, but Jack White. Yeah, his new song. It was pretty good. I like it. It definitely had a little more raconteurs flair to it, but it was definitely him. I liked it. Okay. And finally, in the Lego round for the Bionicle fans, where did the story take place? Where did the story of Bionicle take place? No, you were right. It's just Jack White. Okay, so yeah, I didn't think it was Wales. It's in the western, because Wales is southwest, but I think it's more west than southwest. You can be from the western country, which is kind of that area. They call it the western country. Not a Bionicle fan. You know what? Of all the people that I know in my Lego group, I don't think many of them are Bionicle fans either. But being on Blue Sky, you'd think that's the only thing Lego ever produced. The Lego feed that I'm on is like all Bionicle all the time. It's either all Bionicle, the Lego feed is either Bionicle, people saying they want a certain set but are too poor, or the term mock is also member of Congress, so it gets picked up and I get a lot of political things in the feed too. All right, and this goes there, like this. Chong. I didn't either. I like the idea of super groups and everything, but it was just like, it was fine. Okay, so the story takes place on the island of Mata Nui, which, knowing the story of Bionicle, not 100% convinced that's not a real place, because I think they ran into some problems with the Maori folk going, you know what, you can't use, that's our god, you can't use that. Also, the term Bionicle is a portmanteau of biological or biologic chronicle. So the story of life. Bionicle. I found that out yesterday. All right, so some non-Lego trivia. It's getting to be the top of the hour. I've only got 3 bags left and they're all small. I'm just gonna finish this out, so it might be another hour of streaming. I appreciate everybody being here. I realize I've been on for 2 hours, but I'm just gonna kind of roll with it until it's all done. So as always, I appreciate you hanging out with me and keeping me company. Happy Friday to those who have joined late. Or maybe Saturday. We got a couple people in from the other side of the planet, and it may be Thursday by now. I don't know how that works. I do. I'm just being a butt. All right. So this was one of my favorites, and if you are in the States, you might get this. If you are outside of the States, you may not, unless you're a Star Wars fan. So I have a round now for this upcoming trivia that is modern. It's a this or that, like you just have to guess one or the other. And this year is going to be, is it a modern pharmaceutical? Is it a modern medicine? name of a modern medicine, or a Star Trek planet. And this is because no, this is just coincidence. Everything I try to do is a background of yellow, and I just happen to grab this. It also matches my water bottle, my new water bottle that I got from the ladies for my birthday, which I think is really rad. So this year's is Modern Medicine Name or Star Trek Planet. So if you're going to be at Brick Rodeo, look out for that one. Last year's, which I still feel is one of my favorite rounds that I've written, is NPR personality or Star Wars character. So either somebody who is a on-air reporter or correspondent for NPR, National Public Radio here in the US, or they are a Star Wars character. Canon or Legends. I am including either in this. This goes back here. This is what we've got so far. It's coming together. Quite nice. All right, so NPR character or Star Wars, NPR personality or Star Wars character. Kai Rizdal. Kai Rizdal. NPR or Star Wars. And we'll just go through these pretty quick because there's a lot of them. Zissou loves NPR, so we might be able to get through this pretty quick. Kai Rizdal. Modern Medicine. No. Yes, NPR. Kai Rizdal is or was the host of Marketplace. Okay, we got 3 of these to do. Excuse me. Next is Kyle Katarn. And this is going to be a bit putting these flowers on. This is always fun. These going a little better than the butterflies. I'm okay doing this one. Kyle Katarn. MSNPR. That's fun. I submitted this round to a local pub trivia place, Emerald Tavern. Those of us here in Austin know Emerald Tavern. They were doing their first ever trivia, and it was Star Wars themed, and I'm like, oh, you guys would love this. Star Swords, that is correct. Kyle Katarn is a character in the video game Jedi Outcast. I think it's Jedi Outcast. I forget what the dark it was like Dark Forces, Jedi Outcast. It was Dark Forces, I think. Anyway. All right, number 3, Mara Jade. This should be easy. Mara Jade. Over the top there. Baby's breath. More baby's breath coming up. Mara Jade is Star Wars. Mara Jade is from I think she was only in 1 or 2 novelizations, and I want to say it was the Heir to the Empire trilogy, or was it the New Jedi Order stuff? Baby's breath, say cheese. The stem is made of tripod elements. Cool. Kind of like how Matte Graining Animation have the box network, not Fox with that. Yeah. Yep. Always lampooning. All right. Aphabia Quist Arcton. Next name. Number 4. Aphabia Quist Arcton. NPR people should be able to pick this up pretty quick. I just gave away the answer. Yeah, I totally said it. Sorry. Aphabia Quist Arcton is a NPR reporter, and she does the Africa desk, basically. And she's in Nigeria a lot. And she says her sign-off is great. She's like, Aphabia Quist Arcton, NPR News, Dakar. And you're always like, so. But yeah, she's got one of the best names. All right. So that's a good round. Let's try this round a little bit and see what you think of this. So this round is called Movie Strings. And I like this one because it's a little more unique. I like these creative ones that, so far, there we go. All right, bag 8. Movie strings. So this is, I'll describe 2 or 3 plot points from movies. So you tell me the mashed up movie title, right? For example, a supervillain turned secret agent and boss of yellow gibberish speakers suffers a psychotic break resulting in split personality. That would be Despicable Me, Myself, and Irene. You want to change your name to Kai Rizdal. Isn't that a great name? So, supervillain turned secret agent and boss of yellow gibberish speaker suffers a psychotic break, resulting in a split personality. Despicable Me, Myself, and Irene. That's how the game works. So, the first question is: while navigating their careers in Los Angeles, a pianist and an actress team up with other young dinosaurs in order to reunite with their families in a valley. Yeah, before and after. That's kind of what it is. I'll repeat it. While navigating their careers in Los Angeles, a pianist and an actress team up with other young dinosaurs in order to reunite with their families in a valley. These are 2 movie titles smashed together. I'll give you a couple minutes because that may be a little hard to type out. Homeland Before Time. Not bad, not bad. You got the idea of how to play. That's not it, but that's very good. All right, we've got these rings in the orange, dark red. I didn't even look at the parts for this one. We've got these curved pieces in the orange, dark red. These curved corners bricks. We've got Adjacent snot bricks in red. And I think that's all the new stuff. Davin Felth. The answer is La La Land Before Time. So that's how this works. La La Land Before Time. Okay, so next one. After the rebels are overpowered by the Empire, they flee across the galaxy in a time-traveling DeLorean. Everybody should get this one. After the rebels are overpowered by the Empire, they flee across the galaxy in a time-traveling DeLorean. That color combination is super pleasing. I don't know why. Those 4 colors right there. Back to the Return of the Future Jedi. No. Empire Strikes Back to the Future is correct. 4 points to Dusty. Alright, so this is a ×4, so we're going to get 4 of these out and assembly line this. Next one. 1,000 years after a global catastrophe, a father and son crash their ship in the pool of a Southern California girl who promptly gives them a makeover. This one I think was one of my favorites. The first one may be a weird one because I don't think anyone saw this movie. I'll give you a hint. The first one has Will Smith in it. 1,000 years after a global catastrophe, a father and son crash their ship in the pool of a Southern California girl who promptly gives them a makeover. And if you haven't seen the second movie, what are you even doing with your life? This isn't really a new color, but dark red on these headlight bricks is always nice. I use a lot of these, so it's good to get some replacements. No guesses? I'm telling you, the first one is not one anybody has seen. That one is After Earth Girls Are Easy. If you have not seen Earth Girls Are Easy, seriously. One of Jeff Goldblum's best movies. And also Gina Davis. And it's an early Jim Carrey movie. Yeah, it's Earth Girls Are Easy. After Earth was that weird movie that Will Smith did with his son. And it was like a post-apocalyptic... Not even post-apocalyptic. It was like post-apocalyptic. But yeah, nobody ever... I don't know anybody who's seen it. Okay, next one. A woman falls in love with a man from another culture and tries to get her family to accept him and his womanizing friend who sneak into weddings. A woman falls in love with a man from another culture and tries to get her family to accept him and his womanizing friend who sneak into weddings. He does have a lot of fun movies. I like him. I even liked the third Jurassic Park with him when he came back. My Greek Wedding Crashers, close enough. Mac Builds is back. Hello. Game Change. I'll catch up. Zissou, these are mashed movies. I give you the plot, and it's 2 different movies, and you give me the mashed up movie title. My Big Fat Greek Wedding Crashers. That's correct. Had to have the big fat Greek wedding in there. All right, next is... Okay, this is going to be weird because it's an old movie, but it's kind of got a fun cult following. If you haven't seen this is literally like a 30s movie or 30 or 40s movie, but they are so good. A former detective, Nick, and his wealthy wife, Nora, perform a high wire routine between the World Trade Center buildings. Here's what we're doing right now. Hello, Precision. Welcome back. Welcome back to, or hello, if you're here for the first time. Welcome back to Mac Builds. They were away at lunch. Thanks for being here, everybody. I appreciate it. I know it's Friday, not normal time slot, but we're building flowers until the flowers get done. And this goes here, like so. Thin Man on the Wire, Glenn, coming up strong. Thin Man, if you have not seen the Thin Man movies, they are delightful. Nick and Nora, he's a private detective and she's his socialite kind of wife. And they have a great scruffy dog. They are just super fun movies. Highly recommend. Let's see, these go right in the middle. Very complicated flowers. Not Nick and Nora's Infinite Playlist. Thin Man on a Wire is correct. Okay. A World War II military lawyer must defend a black man after an alien invasion interrupts 4 friends from drinking at neighborhood pubs. I'm going to say that again. A World War II military lawyer must defend a black man after an alien invasion interrupts 4 friends from drinking at neighborhood pubs. You always have to kind of fold these up all at the same time so you get that neat overlapping effect. Because if you do one, it's not going to work. You have to do them kind of all at the same time so they all kind of close in together. Nick and Nora's Infinite Typewrote Playlist. That would be, I would watch that movie. And this is kind of cool. They're like, just put these on there. However you can get them on there. That'll work. And this orange-red piece in this color, oh, that's so nice. All right, I'm gonna read that one again. A World War II military lawyer must defend a black man after an alien invasion interrupts 4 friends from drinking at neighborhood pubs. And the answer to that one is Hearts, War of the World's End. That's 3. That's a 3-1. Hearts, War of the World's End. So we got Hearts War, War of the Worlds, and World's End. World's End, if you haven't seen that, is the 3rd part of the Cornetto trilogy. Cornetto something flavors trilogy, 3 flavors Cornetto trilogy. Times 2. Oh man, I didn't catch the times 2. I gotta go back and do this all over again. I got burned by the times 2. Times 2. Yeah, well, 3 friends drinking at a pub. That's got to be it. Okay, this one is only 2 movies, but the description's pretty long. A middle-aged Chinese immigrant is swept up into an insane adventure in which she strives to achieve fame and success in the final years of Hollywood's golden age in 1969 Los Angeles. A middle-aged Chinese immigrant is swept up into an insane adventure in which she strives to achieve fame and success in the final years of Hollywood's golden age in 1969 Los Angeles. get sidetracked in Forge of Empires. Fair enough. No clue. All right. This one is Everything Everywhere All at Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. All right, nobody's gonna know that one. That one bombed at the last thing too. So, and that one's pretty hard. Oh well, I'll give it a try. Did I already do the regular trivia on this one? Yes. All right, so this one's called Rabbit Hole. It's a two-part. There's two parts to these questions. The idea was if you get one part, you get 1 point. If you get, if you answer, this doesn't matter because we're just talking on the internet, but I was trying to do a risk-reward thing where if you answered both and you got both right, it was 2 points. If you put two answers down, but you got the second one wrong, you get no points. You don't even get the first one. So if you're for sure on the first one, but not sure on the second one, just answer one and you get 1 point. If you know both for sure, put both down, you get 2 points. But if you put both down and you get the second one wrong, you get no points. These are trying to build some 16-point rounds like in Geeks Who Drink. Sorry about the coughing. So the first question, keep in mind there are two answers to these. So like the example is, the Panama Canal divides what two continents? And the second question is, what year was it completed? So the first answer is North and South America. The second answer is 1914. If you got 1914 right and you put both answers down, you get 2 points. If you put North and South America and you put 1912, you get no points, even though you got the first one right. But the second question is always a little harder. So, first question is, what is the phrase for the feeling that you've experienced something before? Second question, what about something you've dreamed about before? So in this instance, if you don't know the second one, don't guess. Because if you get it wrong, you don't get any points. So I think everybody will probably get the first one. The phrase that you've experienced something before. Both of these phrases are French. We won't hold that against them. Deja vu is correct for the first one. The second one, which I didn't know, and I don't think anybody else knew when we originally did this. Deja rêvé, meaning dreamt before. Or dreamt again. Like, deja means again. Okay, in the Winter Olympic sport of curling, the stone used is called a what? Second part of that question is, what is the target of these stones called? So in curling, what is the stone called? And what is the target called? And if you guys are tired of trivia, we'll go back to just chatting about stuff. Rock and ice. Dusty, you would have got 0 points because you got the first one right, but not the second one. Anyone could name a movie, and most likely I haven't seen it. Fair enough. All right. So the answer to the first part is the rock. The stone is called the rock. The second part is the target is called the house. So you want to get to rock in the house. Now we've learned something about the Olympic sport of curling, or the Canadian sport of curling. If you're interested, there's a Jonathan Colton song called Curl. And it's a song about a curling coach and his team trying to make their way to the championship. And I never knew that I needed a curling song before in my life. There it was. A curling song. Relatable. All right. Question 3. A logic number puzzle consisting of grids and subgrids is a what? So that's the first part of the question. A logic number puzzle consisting of grids and subgrids is a what? The act of acquiring books and not reading them is what? So technically it's an Olympic sport, but it's also like just a sport that also happens to be featured in the Olympics. And these go in the middle. Doesn't really matter. Sudoku is correct for 1 point for everybody so far. The second word I had to look up. It is sundoku. So it's the same word as Sudoku, but it has a T in front of it. It means to buy books and not read them. Well, Glenn got it. Are you a Sundoku person, Glenn? Do you buy a lot of books and not read them? Gonna ask about mending things with gold next. No, it's not part of it. That was, yeah. All right, since Glenn knows that, we're moving on. Not just a Def Leppard album. What is the compulsion to start fires? That's part 1. Part 2 is thanks to Count Von Count. 4 questions. Thanks to Count Von Count, what is the compulsion to count? So first part of the question. What is the compulsion to start fires? What is the compulsion to count? Sugar pours. Pour some sugar on me. All right. Now we got this guy here. This guy here. We have 2 bags left. Should be able to get through this in the next half hour or so. 9. It's a very small bag. Got a newish piece in there. So, the first one is pyromania. The second one, the compulsion to count, is arithmomania. So, arithmetic, arithmomania. Okay, this one is because we have a I'll explain this in a second, but we have a kind of a subgroup to the supporter group in Austin FC, and this will come to play in a second. This is the only way I knew about this. In 1966, Frederick Bauer patented the tubular can for what curved potato snack? First question. In 1966, Frederick Bauer patented the tubular can for what curved potato snack? Second part, what is the name of the mascot that adorns those cans. So what is the name of the snack? What is the name of the mascot that's on that can? Pringles is right for 1 point for everybody. Anybody know the mascot? These pieces, I don't know if they've been seen anywhere else. They look like minifig wings. They look like things that go in the back of minifig beetle wings almost. They look like ladybug wings. Go around a neck, possibly. But they're going to be used for flower petals here, and that's really rad. Hey, it was on the Pringles can. The guy with the mustache on the can is named Julius. So there's a subgroup of the supporter group. There's a couple. The pins and patches people, the cut crew is one. We all wear vests with patches. There's another group that's the Fighting Leslies, and they've sort of become their own supporter group. And they are a group that does fundraising for homeless after Leslie Cochran. They've got some really fun cartoons and art and stuff. There's one that is the Fighting Poyos, or Poyo FC, which is basically after the squeezable chicken that goes when you squeeze it. There's a whole legend of the Poyo behind that. And then finally there's Pringles, the Pring FC, which is about Pringles cans and Julius. All hail Julius under his eye. It's all very Illuminati and kind of stuff. The reason being they have that, shortly after Austin started, the Austin FC started, Pringles and the MLS store did a thing whereby for every dollar or for every can of Pringles that you buy, you get like an MLS dollar or MLS something, right? Something that you could spend at the MLS store. So they did not quantify that more than that. They just said for every dollar spent or for every can you get, I guess, keep your receipt. It's good for MLS, one MLS dollar or whatever. So what people did, does it snap on? Nope, it just rolls on. Two of these. So what people did was go to Costco or HEB or wherever and bought cases of Pringles. And so much so that you could get 300, and some people still had some leftover MLS dollars. You get like, some people got $300, $350 worth of MLS dollars before they finally said, you know, it was they capped it pretty quick, but as long as you got in on it, they honored it. So buying 300 cans of Pringles, you had 300 cans of Pringles, but also you'd be able to go buy like a jersey. You could go get a $150 MLS jersey. So a supporter group kind of rose up around that, sort of a subgroup. So it was pretty funny. The Poyo FC is equally as interesting. We went to, there was an away game where somebody tried to bring in the big chicken. And the big chicken, squeezable chicken, has a take care, Mayo, has an Austin FC jersey on it, right? And they bring it in and they hold it up and it cheers. and they squeeze it and it makes noise. Well, when they were playing DC United, and when they got there, I wasn't there. This is somebody else. They said, you can't take that in. We'll have to confiscate it. You can get it back at the end of the game. And they're like, ugh, all right. So we were losing 2-0 with 10 minutes to go ish. And I don't even know where this goes now. Is it over there? There's about 10 minutes to go. The security was like, you can have your check-in back. There's only 10 minutes. They're usually worried that you're going to throw stuff on the field, that you can hurt somebody. So they gave him the chicken back, the pollo. Austin proceeds to score 3 goals. 2 goals in regular time and then 1 in extra time to win the game. So the free pollo thing gained traction, as well as Pollo FC. So people will kind of be part of that group. And they do stuff with it. Take it to fundraisers and things like that. Most of the subgroups in the supporter group do stuff for charity work too. Like they'll go to small groups events and raise money or sell jerseys or bring merchandise or something like that. So it's always for good fun. But those are kind of some interesting stories. But that's where I learned that Julius, the whole idea of I've got a scarf that's got and they say under his eye. It's sort of a Handmaid's Tale joke, which isn't really a joke anymore, but at the time. But his whole Illuminati thing kind of sprung up around Julius and the Pringles stuff. All right, so more trivia. Visitors to Texas might not be aware of our large flocks of grackles. You don't know what a grackle is? It's a corvid. Sticking with the corvid family, how do you refer to a group of crows? It is the group nouns that we're all familiar with, like a pod or a herd. What do you call a group of crows? Second part of that question, how do you refer to a group of ravens? So first part, what is a group of crows called? Group meaning more than 3. That is a group of crows, correct, Glenn. And Zissou, a murder. One of my favorite memes is 2 crows sitting perched on a log, and it says attempted murder. I think that's just hilarious. So murder is crows. A group of ravens is an unkindness. Which I think is kind of hilarious. I didn't really show you the flowers this made with these wings here. I'll show you that in a second. My favorite group noun is a business of ferrets. That's my favorite. Not because I see them wearing suits and conducting acquisitions and mergers, but yes, an unkindness of ravens. I think there's another one. I think ravens have a couple, but the one I looked up at the time was an unkindness. Yeah, the business of ferrets I like because they get up in your business. Having owned a ferret at one point, that is very true. They steal all your stuff. They take it to a little place where they hoard it. They're little pack rats. They're cute. I liked when we had one, but it was also kind of a problem with the stinkiness. A Poe of ravens, right? Why does that? Yeah. a stanza of ravens. All right. Oh, okay, this is cool. Lego related. The brand name is a mashup of what Danish words meaning play well? I think this is on Glenn's license plate, actually. So here's your flowers with those wings. That's really cool. I think that's probably one of the best uses of parts for flowers is these wings. Because at this point, it doesn't look like it would be used for anything else. They did such a good job with that. And this one goes here. Yeah, Glenn knows this one. It's Lego, which is correct. Second part of the question, let's say you only wanted to answer one. What brand is a mashup of French words meaning oily chalk? So Lego is a mashup of Danish words meaning play well. What brand is a French word, mashup of French words meaning oily chalk? All right, last bag. Last bag, last bag, last bag. Oh, the wings? Did you just order the wings? Yeah, I don't know what that part's from, but it's pretty. Like originally, I don't know if it was for this or what. Pastel's a good guess. Olay is a good guess. Goo, I don't know if that's a good guess. My phone keeps screen locking. Crepass. Very close, Glenn. Combine Glenn and Dusty's answer. What do you get? We got these rad leaves in orange. That's very cool. And these, kind of older piece, but still an orange. Maybe it's Maybelline. No. Maybelline does sound French though, right? But yeah, Glenn's answer and Dusty's answer. Combine them. Not oil pastels. Not Zisu's answer. I didn't say combine Zisu's answer with anybody. You got it wrong. Oily chalk. Flip them around. The answer is Crayola. Oily chalk. I like that one. Even not knowing it, I kind of felt like I might know it, having studied a little French, but I didn't quite get it. Right? It was right there. Olay Claypass. Claypass Olay. Giddy goat. Okay, last one of these, first one and two. I guess I could well, no, I couldn't do I was gonna say I could do the audio round too, but then I'd probably owe somebody money. Okay, this one's a little weird because I like it, but it's kind of you're not gonna know the second one, but you might be able to guess the second one. Okay, according to Miss Congeniality, yeah, everybody gets 1.5. Everyone gets 15 points. It's fine. According to Miss Congeniality, April 25th is what? There was a question on Miss Congeniality, the movie, and their answer was, oh, this date is what? Actually, the way they phrase it is differently, but according to Miss Congeniality, April 25th is what? Second part, on April 18th, 1930, what did the BBC report? The second one, you either know it or you might be able to guess it, but it's going to be one of those where it's really weird to figure out. The Best Day. That's close, Glenn. Had to watch that film. That film's delightful. And you're right, Glenn. Whether you're using Google or not, that is the correct answer. So the first one is April 25th is the perfect date because they ask the contestant, what would you consider to be the perfect date? And in not thinking that it was a, go out and get ice cream, go to a movie kind of date, it was, what's the perfect day of the year? In 1930, on April 18th, 1930, the BBC reported that there was no news. In fact, they said they're like, there is no news to report today. So here is, I think they said 30 minutes. 30 minutes of music. And they played music. They played classical music. BBC News. The world leader in whatever it is. So yeah, good job, Glenn. Yeah, every April 25th, somebody posts the picture of what's her name, and I forget the actress's name, going something about it's nice during the day and just a little cool at night, and all you need is a light jacket, that kind of thing. So there you go. On April 18th, 1930, BBC reported that there was no news. Not that nothing happened, but the BBC said there's no news. Yeah, Best Day is, that's why I said you were close on with Best Day. All right, while I finish this up, I'll go into the Texas trivia, and then we'll be done. Since this was Brick Rodeo and the event is in Texas, I gave last year I was like, well, sorry. Apologies to our out-of-town friends. So this is ×2, so I'm going to do this ×4. But here's some trivia for you Texans. Glenn will probably get some of this. I think if George were still on, he'd probably get some of this. You may know the official state flower of Texas, which we all do. For those who aren't from Texas, it's the bluebonnet. But what is the official sport of Texas? What is the official sport of Texas? Yeah, right? Well, the funny thing is, I came up with all these, and I had to look a lot of these up, but I'm a transplant. So, like, okay, I'm going to have to do this ×6. But some of these, I'm like, wow, really? Shooting at things. The official sport of Texas is rodeo. So there you go. Anybody asks, it's rodeo. Excuse me. Apologies. I'm sure that sounds really good in your earphones. Morosely dubbed the Texas speed bump, the official animal of Texas, the armadillo, contracts and transmits what bacterial condition? I am not a transplant. I am a transplant. Now that I've found out a little bit about my family's history, I can, I guess, canonically say I'm a wandering Jew. I think that's funny. Yeah, rodeo. Well, rodeo meaning, yeah, I guess Is it roping? Is it which animal are you roping? Is it cattle riding? Is it, you know, there's a lot of different things. But when I looked it up, it said the official, according to the state site, that's what it is. No. Armadillos contract and transmit leprosy. Funny enough, and I say the Texas speed bump armadillo because you always see them on the road and they are smushed. So they're called the Texas speed bump, which is kind of sad. But Austin FC's kind of unofficial mascot is an armadillo. Its official mascot's like a tree, right? An oak, a live oak. Its unofficial mascot is a armadillo, and yes, his name is Speed Bump. And they always have him at the game. They always have camera on him. I'm sure it's a different one every time. But hey, look, green wands. So we're gonna separate these guys. How many of these do I need? A ton, apparently. Need at least 6. Why do I get so many of these? Now I've got all these extra sprues. If anybody knows what I can do with these sprues, let me know. But cool use of parts with these wands. That's pretty cool. Nice. You can also buy little foam hats of armadillos. I want to do a big tifo design with an armadillo on it. At halftime, when halftime's over and it's the second half starting up, it plays the Godzilla theme song, that bump 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 bump, right? And they have an animation of a big armadillo kind of walking along. It's pretty funny. Okay. Yes, so the answer is leprosy. They have it, they can transmit it, but they don't suffer from it. They're just a carrier. All right, nobody's gonna really know that one. That was, Texas has 3 national parks. For 1 point, name each of them. It's Big Bend, Guadalupe Mountains, and Padre Island National Seashore. I don't think anyone's gonna know that one. Texas shares a border with 4 Mexican states. Let's see if anybody can kind of guess that. So, there are 3 states in Mexico that Texas shares a border with. And I'm going to have a hard time pronouncing maybe one of these. These are pretty so far. There's 3. There's 3. So the 3 states Texas shares a border with in Mexico are Tamaulipas, don't know. Nuevo Leon, actually there's 4. Coahuila, my Spanish is terrible, apologies, and Chihuahua. Yes, there's a Mexican state named Chihuahua. It's gonna be extra. Timmy! Arizona, California, and Mexico. Yep. Okay. Flipping these over. There is a permanent art installation just outside of the town of Marfa, Texas. Now, if you don't know Marfa, Marfa is an area in West Texas, or no, I'm sorry, East Texas, in the kind of the high desert. Once you get to Marfa, you're basically pretty close to the Mexico border, and it's kind of a straight shot to El Paso from there. Very close to Marfa is an area with a very good observation telescope called McKinney. It's like McKinney State Park or something. Anyway, they've got a rad telescope there, and they do tours, and it's really, really awesome. So that's Marfa. They also have a thing called the Marfa Lights, where if you're in that area and you go to, there's this one section of the highway that you can kind of pull off and look off into the desert, and you see floating lights. So we went, and there's a whole thing out there, and we were like, that's the other highway coming in there. Everyone's like, no, it's different from that. I'm like, well, where are the lights? They're like, they're right there. I'm like, those are the headlights coming in from the other highway. They're like, no, but it was different. I'm like, okay. Like, well, this sucks all over the place. Anyway, in Marfa, there is a permanent art installation just outside the town, built to resemble what high-end retail store? So there's a little bitty art installation. Yes, the dogs were bred in Chihuahua, right? It's a Chihuahua, C-H-I-H-U-H-H-U-A-H-U-A, Chihuahua. Chihuahua. So in Marfa, Texas, there's an art installation built to look like what high-end retail store. I'll give you a hint, the devil wears this. This goes on the other open side. Another open side. Another open side. Prada, very good. Sort of gave it away with the hint. All right, here's one that you may or may not get. Waco, Texas is the home of what HGTV home renovating couple? They've turned it into a big industry up there. That's a lot of leftover wands. Anybody want 8 green wands? I guess I'll use that for other parts there. So we can fit these guys in there. That would be Chip and Joanna Gaines. Sorry. I guess I could have said less about that and given you a hint. Alright. That's on there as well as it can be on there. And it's done. That is a done bit of flower. A lot of extra pieces in this, including 700 green wands. I'm going to end on a Lego question while we look at these pretty flowers. Lego announced that 4 minifigures would be launched into space on an uncrewed Artemis mission. So this is obviously a bit old, at least a year. An uncrewed Artemis mission aboard Orion around the moon. For 1 point each, named the minifigures. The minifigures that went up on the Orion spacecraft are named Kate, Kyle, Julia, and Sebastian. I don't know why. Maybe they won a contest or something, but Kate, Kyle, Julia, and Sebastian. So here's your flower arrangement. This is absolutely gorgeous. I feel like this is one of the more stunning of the flower botanicals. I've done most of them, a lot of them, and I'm gonna have to go compare them to some other ones, but two things. One, it comes with a stand, and the stand's great. If you wanted to, you could take the flowers, they're on that base, that green base in there. You could take that whole thing off and just leave the stand. But yeah, with the baby's breath and the different lilies and everything, the one part I didn't like was doing these butterflies. Night, Dusty. Take care. Thanks for being here. But some of these other pieces, those dark red canopy pieces are really fantastic. The umbrellas for those, like the butter yellow umbrellas for those flowers were great. The butterflies are a good look. They do look really good. They're just, that part was not fun to put together. Some great new leaves in some new colors. We got some new brick colors in here. More of these alien walking guys. These pieces in a nice color. We got new colors for these dark red, orange. Some pieces for that. Overall, just very, very pretty. And then these wings, these beetle wings, minifig beetle wings. So, oh, and nobody told me my chat was wrong, or my thing was wrong. I'm not designing the first order atmospheric lander. I was building flowers. So I got that wrong, which is nice. So, all right, well, I'm gonna plug this real quick again. If you guys are interested in getting a Lego chain, a bling chain like this, fellow lug member George in the chat, Agasami Brickworks, got these printed up, 3D printed up. Got a neat dragon clasp in the back for you. Pretty solid. It's not terribly heavy. But yeah. All right, cool, everybody. Thanks for being here. You guys are great. Appreciate you coming back on a Friday. I will be on Sunday, I guess. Probably working on the Q2 Stadium. If not, I'll pick a microfighter to do. But I'm kind of on a roll with the stadium, so I want to keep that going. But you guys have a great rest of your weekend. I hope you do something fun. Go see a movie. Go build some Lego. Go outside. Say hi to your friends, whatever. But I'll talk to you soon. Take care.